where normally there would be crowds, today there were only water. The mayor of Venice has closed St. Mark's Square as floodwaters climb to dangerously high levels. Italy has declared a state of emergency, and the mayor has warned that the floods have already left a permanent mark on the city's iconic architecture. Well, Danielle Robertson is in Venice and she joins us now. So, Danielle, what's happened in the last 24 hours?
Well, here on the ground, the tide did peak today at 1.5 metres, and while that is lower than the peak of Tuesday, it's still no easier to comprehend. Businesses and homes flooded by waters, and they've already suffered so much. Today, we've seen people replace their boots, purchase boots as well as umbrellas, as the water flooding now has receded, but it's now falling from the sky. It seems the reprieve from being wet here doesn't last very long. We've also seen schools and public offices closed for the day, and warnings of people to only travel when necessary. There's people right now travelling home on the ferries after these waters have subsided, but there has already been so much damage. It seems the businesses here, once they try and get back on their feet, they receive another blow.
Well, Danielle, we hear of plans now to fast-track a project to build a barrage around the city. It was first mooted back in 1966.
Yeah, that's right. When the first major flood happened in 1966, peaking at 1.9, there were discussions about how they can prevent this from happening again. And that's where all of this began. People here, locals, furious that plans to build underwater barriers have been ongoing since back then, and nothing has been built. There is the government, when the government did come down here and see all the flooding on the ground, he did pledge that he will accelerate these plans to build these underwater barriers in a bid to prevent this inundation. Whether or not those plans will go ahead, previously they've been delayed and plagued by corruption. Time will only tell. But for now, the flooding is still very raw here, and businesses are still suffering.
And also, there are deep concerns, aren't there now, about the damage done to cultural heritage and infrastructure of Venice?
Yeah, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of damage, and some may never be repaired. It's been described as a blow to the heart of the country. The government has pledged 20 million euros in a bid to help this clean-up effort and to provide resources to get Venice back on its feet. But they're saying that it might not even be enough. There have been priceless mosaics inside the cathedral in St. Mark's Square that was closed today that have been destroyed and ruined. They may never be able to be recovered. The city's artistic history has now been compromised. Now, whether or not this $20 million is going to help, we'll have to see. For now, the rain is falling quite heavily and the wind is still lingering.